The hell, man. Why can't I get a hold of the P-Man?
Because reasons.
Do I even want to know?
Would you like to know an interpretive dance?
No, please. FSM, no.
Well, too bad!
Coming up on Linux Gamecast Weekly, we scream about streaming games with Linux. Distance loses control, Link invades Steam, and it's probably archery. Then we throw the chairs at Painkiller, Hell and Damnation. All this, plus your hate mail. Let's go. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and more importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. Joining me every week, the man, the myth, no, he's just a Canadian even, Massa Sving.
Well, every week except, last week, but we're not discussing that.
No, you're definitely going to make up for it this week because the Mexican didn't show up to work tonight.
He hopped over the fence and hasn't come back. Unfortunately.
No idea what's going on with him. But fret not, because this week, coming up, we have some new streaming tools coming to Linux. Distance kind of hates Linux, and we're going to throw some chairs in hell in stereo. Before we get started with things, let's talk about how old you're getting.
Oh, yes. My body is failing me. I'm in excruciating pain currently, as my long-standing back injury has decided, fuck you, Jordan. Fuck you up your stupid monkey ass. I'm just gonna hurt all day for no reason.
Sweet.
Also, my monitor's fried, so I need to...
Yeah, what happened with that, man? It just went tits up.
I don't... So the monitor... Well, it's not... The monitor itself isn't fried. The power supply to the monitor is fried. And I hate this monitor, so I was kind of looking for an excuse to get a new one, and one has presented itself. But goddamn, do I miss having two monitors.
I could not imagine just having two. 3 are mandatory.
3 or go home.
Actually,
what about you, Ven?
Over here in LGC Actual Broadcasting, as we are.
I hear you've embraced some of your heritage in your new car purchase.
Well, the Volkswagen. We talked about it last week. Yes.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, I'm still deciphering some of the glyphs that... How do I put this? It's a circle with a wavy line under it. I was like, okay. What do we do about this? Get out the manual, flip through. Oh, low tire pressure. Brilliant. Which one? It's like, figure it out. And the other day, it was, like, -2. I cut it on, blinking snowflake. And I'm like, right. Maybe the coolant, what, flip through. It's like, no, I'm just warning you about possible hazardous road conditions. So, other than that, brilliant car, enjoying it as much as you can enjoy a 4-door saloon. But yeah. So, yeah.
Let's put on our swastika pasties and dance for the people, shall we?
Tell them about it.
Oh, yeah, you can watch that happen at linuxgamecast.com/podcast, where we have our lovely RSS feeds, our handy e-stalking guide, some lovely pictures of 3 assholes that no one likes. And if you scroll down a bit, we got Amazon affiliate links, we got our Donato buttons. One-time donation gets you our thanks. If you donate $10, access the show notes. You can give a $3.50 a month and get your shameless plug up on our Donato board. And for $10 a month, you get our show notes. Every week, you get to see the sausage before it gets made. Look at all those wonderful people who've given us money that we've pissed away on hookers and blow. But what else do we got? We got Chat Realm statically linked. You can go check out the hipster holocaust at linuxgamecast.com/discussions-2. You can sign up with any account, really. So if you have the Facebooks or the Twitter or whatever, you can just, oh, Linode ads. I use them. They're pretty good. But anyways, give us money. Since we're on the topic, you can go over to youtube.com/LinuxGameCast, where you can watch last week's episode, Sans me, or when this comes out, you can watch this week's episode, Sans Pedro. We got players, we got how-tos, be-reels, all sorts of good stuff. We got a Facebook page that the Mexican runs that I guess is not getting any attention lately because he's gone AWOL. That's certainly a thing. And finally, our second favorite Kiwi in the whole wide world, reddit.com/r/Linux_gaming, where we have lots of cool stuff about Linux gaming, news, how-tos, and just general good conversations. Go there, upvote stuff. We got some stuff from our show from that subreddit's sort of our adopted redheaded stepchild, or maybe it's
no. In all fairness, we forgot to mention Chat Realm Dynamic.
We did forget to mention Chat Realm Dynamic, their favorite member of Linux Gamecast, you.
And,
yeah,
like no
check
joke,
that out on
completely international. We have people watching, down under, Tanzania, Africa,
all freaking places. Tanzania. That one surprised me.
It's brilliant. It's there. This is where we're at when we're doing it live. But the other times, check us out in Chat Realm Static, because that's what we are. As Jamie
for those of you not in the know, you can go to Chat Realm Dynamic on freenode.irc.net. Go to #LGC Weekly, and that.
Oh, we're gonna help some people this week, Master Fang.
Oh yeah. We got to educate you crackers about Linux gaming and the casting of Linux games. Tell them about that, Ben.
Well, this looks like the beginning of another failed effort of people attempting to broadcast under Linux. Linux broadcasting software. Alpha. Software used to build Qt4, GTK. I guess you might have two GUIs because you're going to need a GUI, apparently. Lame also. Nah. And Pulse Audio Service. X264 FFmpeg OpenGL mono. And what does this do, you're wondering? Basically what we've been doing for over a year. And does it do it well? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Well, our thing kind of requires some customized hardware. You showed Liam Dawe the back of our recording box, so...
Yeah, the only thing about this, I'm glad progress is being made. It looks like some things have been fixed, the flicker issue. And to be perfectly honest with you, streaming to Twitch, not that difficult. A lot of command line options you got to set and do all that. I mean, we did a how-to on that in like the end of 2012, maybe beginning.
Something like
that. Yeah. Quite a while back, but they're attempting to wrap it in a Winbro solution that even an Arch user could understand. So, I mean, good on that. Get in there, test it out. These links will be in the show notes. Scream back in our filthy direction and let us know what you think. Did it work for you? How bad did it fail? And did it make disparaging remarks about Jordan's boyfriend?
Hey, you leave Francisco out of it.
Francisco.
I couldn't come up with a better name than Francisco. Oh man,
he sounds
but
sexy.
But you know what smells worse than that name? It's our Steam
Linux
update of the week.
And this is a serious update, man.
We're super serious. My favorite game in the whole wide universe, Serious Sam 3, has got some bug fixes.
Super serial.
I did kill Man Bear Pig.
But, they're very serious about this. This is the long-awaited update 18979Z.
Damn, you know what? I was stuck on 1897989, and I was just suffering.
But you're asking yourself, what does this bring to it? I mean, this fixed some unresponsive input, frame rate low on Linux, and finally, for the little chitlins who insist on playing with their, X Pro controllers and whatnot.
Or the Areola controller when that comes out.
Now, that might be helpful.
Yeah.
you can actually custom map your game. Now, as much as you loathe just the general brownness of this game, which I think is a little racist,
You're a little racist,
well,
Ben. You're a little
here's
racist.
the thing. Here's the thing. You got to admit that these guys really jumped on the Linux Steam bandwagon.
Oh no,
way back in the day.
They've been on the Linux bandwagon for a while. They had like a Linux client for Sirius Sam 1.
Well,
way
they
back.
got Nicholas to port it.
Yeah, but I mean,
They've been doing
That's-
this as this in-house.
before Linux support was really a thing. They were doing that.
Yeah, but with Serious Sam, love or hate the game, they keep working on it to try to make it slightly faster than your mum.
Yep.
So that's the thing.
Certainly, you can give them credit for that.
Download
But
it.
you know what? When there's no more room in heck, they'll send out some updates.
Yeah.
And, this is from nomoreroominhell.com. They have a big patch, 1.5 gig update.
That was
Damn.
a hell of an update, and we're just going to
Yeah.
gloss over this because, the unwashed
Sewer
masses
lighting.
don't have copies of it. It's still in
Yeah.
closed beta, but I just wanted to rub this in everyone's face organs. The reason it's
They've
so
updated some art assets. They've got silence and sound stuff fixed. They fixed some map issues. They fixed some, yeah. That's pretty much it. There's some code changes. It's a fairly big change log, but really a bunch of stuff that was broken gets fixed.
the
It's
biggest
good
thing is they fixed most of the texture, so you don't have that jarring experience when you're slamming and curb stomping zombies and making sweet love to their skull that you see this big error blinking neon sign where a texture should be. So that kind of
Really, yeah, that was kind of interrupting my boner.
Speaking of
Mhm.
bonus, hey,
Oh yes, this is kind of nifty. Not really Steam related, though. I guess it is. But
yeah, it's only
they're for Don't Starve, our favorite Tim Burton inspired Minecraft clone.
well,
You can play as Link. You can have him come to town to try and save the Princess Zelda.
wait,
Just
I
kidding.
thought you played as Zelda. You mean he's not Zelda?
No, he's not Zelda. That's Robin Williams' daughter.
Oh, right. Yeah, so this is the thing. It weighs in at under 3 megabytes, and it's available for anyone who already has Don't Starve. In the box,
It's kind of neat.
yeah,
Because you get, but it's kind of cute and funny, so we figured it was worth mentioning.
my thought process with this is so you can make this game not suck.
I never really got into the whole Minecraft. Like my roommate fucking loves Minecraft. He's playing it in the other room right now. So I don't really have much to comment on it. It was kind of cool to see Link kind of run around and kill shit and don't starve. I think most Tim Burton movies would improve from Link coming in out of nowhere and chopping people's heads off. But
Yeah,
that's just
and he's got the Pokemon hat on,
yes, he does.
so that
So
makes
severed
everything
rabbit's
better.
head.
But
But anyways, Don't Starve. It's on the Steam Workshops. Check that out. But reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines
Engines
pumping and thumping in
thumping.
time. The green light flashes. The flags
no,
go
they
up.
don't. No, they don't. Unless you
No.
play on a fuck mothering
Ah.
keyboard, that's the only way this is happening. Because distance Alpha 2Z78 change log. I'll tell you, as a Linux user, as somebody, the only way you have access is if you backed it at the 50 quid level. That's it.
Ooh.
Now,
So
this has been out for months.
You threw 50 wet stinky cashes at these guys.
Mm.
How's that going for you?
Wow, this is worse than torture. Because, J-Man, you're back. The one genre I've just been just like, please put it in my mouth, has been
Mhm.
arcade racing. Yeah?
Right.
I've been on
Stock
about that for...
racing,
I
rally
even went out
racing,
and
stuff.
bought multiple extra controllers to try to make this game work when they released the alpha on Steam. No. You can get menus, they work, but the actual gameplay, no. You have no controller support. And this new update came down. I was like, brilliant, we're going to install this. No. So, guys at distance, you really should call this a Windows alpha because Apparently you can't spend, 2 seconds to fix this under Linux. You're not going to make me believe it's that difficult. And this is more torture than if it didn't exist, I would be happier than knowing that here it is, and I can only play it with a keyboard. That's cruel for a racing game. You got to admit that.
Don't you have that XPad 2 thing that you could just map keyboard bindings to?
That I knew. I'm glad you brought that up, because that would have been in the show next week with somebody saying, don't you understand? That's not the same. You're playing an arcade race, you need to understand the physics of it, and that's not going to be the same physics as when it has native gamepad support.
I suppose. I'm just looking for a workaround. I don't know.
So there is a workaround. That's not a... So you're welcome for that 50 quid interest-free loan that you still have, and I've not really gotten anything for. Not bitter at all.
But that is the bitter taste of our Steam Linux update of the week.
Okay.
Coming up next, Ven speaks in a dramatic voice. Things get humble with the news. Goodness gracious. It's the regular news segment. Whatever are we gonna do in a world where Ven Stone voices trailers for open source video games? Zero AD's Indiegogo ends with $33,251, a little short of their $160,000 goal. Just a bit. Just a teensy bit. Indiegogo does have that flexible funding option, though, so they do get to walk away with the money. And I mean, it is software in the public interest, which means it's nonprofit. All the money is actually going to go to support the game developers and develop the game, which is kind of nice. Yeah,
I was really happy with this. I know you're looking at it. The original goal was 160,000 wet stinky caches, but they'd come in at still 33,000 wet stinky caches that they get to have to futz with to continue development of a game that has really come from this is boring as piss to I kind of want to play it. Eh?
Plus, it features this guy in the trailer, at least.
So that's
you should check that out.
Brilliant. But let's get ready to humble. Well, they added some more crap since last week, and by more crap, I mean they've added the Bard's Tale, Broken Sword Director's Cut, Oregon Trail Director's Cut, Anomaly Best Korea, and Europe DLC Ticket to Ride, or as we like to call it, shit we already own.
I actually have like a board game copy, a Ticket to Ride, so it's like, why do I need to pay for a digital copy?
But I guess you can unlock this with some amount of wet stinky cash.
Yes, you need to pay at least $6.32 currently.
Aha.
And there's 2 days left, so when this comes out, it's probably going to be over. But for those of you watching live, and you should be watching live, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, and lots goes a wink to a blind bat. Yeah, if you don't already own these games, maybe buy it. There's Linux support, at least.
I was happy with Worms Reloaded. I think that's maybe something we should play even tonight.
Oh, Worms, yeah.
We might get that a spin for the after show because there's going to be
actually have you ever played Wormux?
Yeah.
The Worms clone with all the GNU mascots and whatnot. named all my GNU guys Stallmans 1 through 7.
That's brilliant. The Bard's Tale.
Not Stallman number 5.
The Bard's Tale still doesn't work if you have separate X displays.
Yeah, because of that Zynorama bug.
It's every other game under Steam that I own, which is over 100. Works with separate X displays, but it's a bit too difficult for them. Can't quite sort that. Broken Sword, don't care about that. Oregon Trail. It's fun as a freebie. Anomaly Best Korea. It's neat. I played the early beta before it was released to the public. Didn't you have a copy of that too?
At some point. Anomaly is not really my type of game.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it. It's fun. It's got mech action.
Tower offense. Tried playing that. Yeah.
Nah. So that's a thing, but
this one is actually kind of interesting.
How?
You read this. It's a survival game that has a bunch of various puzzle things. It's done in Unity.
I was petrified.
I don't. remember how I could live without you by my side. But yes, so this is done in Unity,
Looking
and
good,
they have
looking
good. Oh man, I'm out of
This is
shape.
mom catch him masturbating. He's like, oh, fuck this.
Oh man, I don't know. The puzzle elements look kind of interesting. They go about them in depth a bit further down the article. One thing they did kind of right. They don't really mention that the game will be out for Linux, except in one screenshot. But at least they're not sort of dangling it in front of our faces. Oh, if you give us money, we'll click exports. No, they're like, oh, it'll work because it's Unity.
They're working with the Source Engine and Unity, so I was like, yeah,
They were saying they moved from the Source Engine to Unity. So.
All right, that escaped me. There's some concept art until now.
Yeah.
And
Until now.
we have seen multiple times that if you got the right talent behind something, you know, as far as graphic designers and all that, texture designers, you can make Unity look like fucking bee's knees, man.
Yeah, no, it's actually a pretty decent engine. It's just people kind of stick with the default textures because, you know, programmers aren't artists.
So we always got to go to our ultimate goal for this. What can we get for? Oh, all right, blank. I got money to spend. Blank. Your name in the credits. Exclusive. Do I get to sleep with someone's sister?
Yeah, you get a hardcover art book.
Oh yeah, dying for that.
July 2015. Well, what are they asking for this again? Something like $144,000. They're at 33 grand at time of broadcast.
16 days left. Might be a bit optimistic goal, but
Possibly.
It looks like they've done.
I mean, the screens look pretty nice.
Yeah, there's some work to go. This is definitely something I think that, you know, unfortunately with Kickstarter, unlike Indiegogo, they're going to get naught for it, but you never know, right?
You never know. Plus, you know what? They are supporting Linux, and they're not being assholes about it. So that's certainly a thing.
Because we do have a nasty habit of declaring scorched earth policy on anyone who holds the carrot out. It's like, oh, well, if we reach this strict score, you
take the carrot off the stick, and then you shove it up their asses.
Remember, Skullgirls? You know that Linux port you promised me when I donated to your Kickstarter campaign?
You know what? I'm sure that volunteer is working his spare time off.
Yeah, you hired a volunteer to use another one of my interest-free loans that I gave you, and this is pretty much it so far. So, brilliant. Love it. Fantastic game, and it's probably not even going to be compatible with online multiplayer with anything. You can't even get the damn thing on Steam.
If it's going to have online multiplayer, period.
Yeah. Looking forward.
It is. You know what? Probably this'll just go nowhere. But there's probably archery somewhere. Oh my god, that man has a tomato for a head.
Looks like somebody was in a rush to finish a game and they just ran out with it. It's like, all right. Well,
no, this was from one of those 7-day game challenges.
That's the joke.
Yeah, that's the joke. Well, fuck you. Anyways, probably archery. It's one of these archery simulators where you use your phone and an Oculus Rift and one of these things and shoot people in the head with apples for faces. It's like going into one of those Fruit Gushers commercials and then just laying everything to waste.
You see, there's one thing I'm getting a bit bored. I was like, Oculus Rift support. I was like, built into fucking Unity. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
multiplayer, that's neat. But you know,
I've seen a bunch of these games. These archery simulators. They don't really do it for me. I mean,
well, I think they try to go mental with it, and I like things like this. You know, the same reason that we like Curse of the Nordic Cove and stuff like that. Because it's different, and you know, even Soda Drinker Pro. Because sometimes a man needs a bonus soda.
I like that one quote they have there. Right there, right? Nope, down. Fuck!
Giant bomb. But there is a Linux demo. Check that out. Go ahead and screech over there. It will be in the show notes, but probably archery.com. and native Oculus Rift support. That's brilliant. You can pick up the full version for
$6, $7, $7.
Not too bad. Maybe, throw them a few wet stinkies. Let them know that you're thinking about them. That you're not completely ready to do them, Mom, yet, but it's on your brain organ.
Then,
yes, Mom.
Then, Danger Zone.
Not again.
But probably that'll wrap that up. Coming up next, we throw some hell chairs at Painkiller, Hell, and Damnation.
You mean heck.
Faster than a bullet, a terrifying scream, enraged and full of anger. It's our Painkiller, Hell, and Damnation review. This is from painkillergame.com, developed by the Farm 51, using the Unreal Engine 3, some groundbreaking piece of technology there. And it's $19.99 on Steam. Now, normally we have 3 people who do this review, but apparently our resident Mexican has stayed behind the fence as he failed to jump over it. But we have our crazy-ass metric using lawn chairs of all things. So then, show him the chair explanation. 1 chair means it's shit. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's good. And 4 chairs means shut up, take my money, I love it. Get naked, throwing money at the screen, nothing's happening, why? And of course, we got our categories Doom, mixed with the working, which is fairly self-explanatory. Does it work? Shiny and sounds, the look and the sound design of the game. How does that fare? Controls are self-explanatory. And our final subjective category, because we're 2 different guys with 2 different pieces of hardware, or 2 different sets of hardware, running 2 different distributions. So there's that. So then, did Painkiller, Hell, and Damnation make with the working?
Well, I gotta say, and if you're not up to speed yet, you should be up to speed because you've been looking at this loading screen for a moment.
Oh yes, the loading screen.
Swimmingly. And this was on our soon-to-be retired, minimum system requirements for Steam, Ubuntu 12.04, 32-bit, NVIDIA-powered latest drivers. Take a shot. And I would actually ding it a chair because the load time gives you enough time to pick up a new hobby. I should be honest about that. But they're
you've been loading off an SSD, man.
Yeah. It's striped SSD. That's because it's recompiling the shaders, and they were very clear about that. Because this is still technically a beta. They just got that flag thrown on there. But we want to give you the business before you spend 20 wet stinky caches on it. So I'm going to have to give this, since they were forthright about that. Makes with Working Man 4. Mothering chairs.
I'd have to disagree slightly. Well, it did work out of the box. Had to fuck with the resolution settings and whatnot. I found that, for the most part, it worked fine, aside from some random freezings you get when you kill a bunch of enemies. And that got annoying pretty quickly, so that's enough for me to ding it a chair. I'll give it 3 out of 4 lawn chairs. Mm-hmm. And, of course, our invisible Pedro guy. He couldn't get the game working at all, so...
So what does that break down that score to, sir?
So, with 4 chairs and 3 chairs, that'll total it out to a 3-chair mixed with the working category. Boom.
It's a bit rare, but, it's
it
still
happens.
A thing. Yeah.
It's a beta. It's the Unreal Engine 3. It's not the newest hot shit, but it's definitely a thing. Shiny and sounds.
Is it pretty?
Is it pretty? Can you tell me I'm pretty, then?
No, I cannot tell you. Alright, you just hurt my brain, but I still love you, That's why I wear the Googles. I definitely got to say that this is one of the best-looking first-person shooters on Linux currently. Now, you're thinking to yourself, Vin, That's not saying a lot, but it kind of is, because top of the line, really, we have Serious Sam 3, which is pretty, but it's incredibly brown. This does mix it up because it's brown and dark.
There's Left 4 Dead and Portals and whatnot, but those are pretty old games when you come to think about it.
Yeah, not current with the engines. Ambient sound, top notch. I like how it works, with the headphones on my ear organs. Didn't mind that. But the whole, here they come, fucker, you better get ready for 'em. That metal sound, that got old with a quickness. I was like, how about just a little light? And it was like, get ready to scramble about, and you'll be done with it. So for
Circle Strafe.
Yeah. 3 chairs. Gonna ding at that chair just for that repetitive, here they come, every single time. How about you, J-Man?
I didn't mind that too much, actually. I got a kick out of it because I'd go all, yeah, kill shit. But I mean, I played the original Painkiller in high school. That was one of the games we just ran out with. You know what? It's not a bad looking game. Engine's a bit old, so it certainly shows its age. I wouldn't say it's gorgeous looking, but like Vin said, one of the better looking shooters on Linux today. The sound design's pretty good too. I like the ambient noise, like the whole behind you thing. That was a nice little touch. So I'll give it 3 chairs. I'd say it's pretty good. All right, so total that up with our 2 casters of Linux games. That is 3 chairs for Shiny and Sounds. So then, controls.
What's that? Do I feel like I'm in control? Well, at the end of the day, take another shot. It works. I've been using the keyboard and wireless gerbil combination. At the end of the day,
take a shot.
It does. No complaints with it. I was actually able, this thing has, I think, like 7 buttons on it, and I just mapped one to the Painkiller, which I was like, that's my note button. When you get in that sticky situation, you're like, nope. And you hit that, and you
the Painkiller is pretty awesome.
Spin round, baby, right round, and you're done with it. So you get the business done. 4 chairs.
Yeah, I'd say the controls are pretty good. The controls are pretty spot on, to be perfectly honest. They're exactly what you would expect from a first-person shooter. They're responsive. There's not much lag, aside from the previous issue I had mentioned, but that has less to do with controls and more to do with...
What about collecting those souls, man?
The souls. I gotta catch them before they fade away to nothingness. Souls!
With your Pokemon thing, you gotta catch them all.
Oh, yeah, so...
But you can only draw them in with the razor blade
with the beam thing.
Yeah.
That and as a weapon, I think that maybe should have been a bit better, because you're gonna fall back on that a lot once you run out of ammo. But the controls themselves, I'd give them 4 chairs just because they're pretty spot on. They didn't need to be adjusted or anything. The mouse sensitivity was a bit low, but.
All right.
Anyways,
right,
so that's 4 chairs. That's 4 chairs for control. And finally, our last subjective category: fun.
There will be no fun.
Then, did you have fun in Heck?
Language, young man, language.
Oh, you old fart! You're a silly Billy.
Better than a Slimmy Debbie. Fun,
oh, you're a Slimmy Debbie
subjective. Too. I had fun for a total of about 2 hours. If you're a Farscape fan, you'll understand that. That's when I realized that this is truly Serious Sam in Heck, Hades, Tartarus, whatever you want to call it. No real story, just wave after wave, plus random boss. To break things up from the monotony of wave after wave after wave. Really, this could have been like a mod for Serious Sam 3, and so if you'd shown it to me, I was like, yeah, that's a Serious Sam 3 mod, because it follows the exact same game mechanics. So I'm not going to give it 1, because if you're really into that and you want to experience Serious Sam in hell with about the same amount of backstory and plot development. So we're going to give it 2.
Yeah, you know what? Finding 7,000 souls. I could find 7,000 souls a lot more effectively than this frickin' guy. He kind of goes at it the hard way. No, like I said, I remember playing the original in high school. This was a nice little trip down nostalgia lane for me because, I mean, Painkiller was fun, but Ben is right when he says it's basically Serious Sam and heck. The weapons are different. The combat style is a teensy bit different because of the different weapons. I don't know. I got kind of bored with it just because it's Serious Sam, and I'm kind of Serious Sam'd out considering what we got with Serious Sam the Brown encounter. I'm sorry, Serious Sam 3.
The Brown.
Brown encounter. That actually sounds a lot more racist coming out than that sounds a lot more racist than it did in my head. But anyways, unintentional racism aside, I'll give this guy 2 chairs because it's not bad, but it's not fucking stellar. So that'll be 2 chairs for the fun category, totaling all that nonsense up.
Beep, boop.
3 chairs, 3 chairs, 4 chairs, and 2 chairs. Ben, do some math.
I'm not even looking at the notes. Come on.
Oh, god damn it. So 3 and 3 is 6, 6 and 4 is 10, 10 and 2 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. That doesn't make any sense. Divided by 4, maybe. 3 chairs.
He figured it out, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm thinking like 2 people, so we got to divide it by 2. Wait, what? No, I gotta lay off the drugs, man. Drugs are bad.
But
So that
we'll talk about it later. But you're wondering what 3 chairs, if you have the attention span of a normal YouTuber, you've already forgotten what 3 chairs means.
Who are you people again? Where am I?
Huh? Hello. No, it means check it out. I mean, we're not going to tell you that you need to be throwing money directly at this game because
But
it does rake
for
in
what
at
it
20
is.
quid, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You could have picked it up for whatever with the latest Humble Bundle from
Not the latest. It was like 4 months
the one
ago.
from a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So if you
you would have to
grab
bought that on Faith, but if you're picking up right now, keep this in mind. All right. It's only 3 chairs if you're a fan of Serious Sam. If you're expecting something other than Serious Sam, and heck,
2 chairs, I'd say.
at best,
But taken for what it is, it's not bad.
No, I had
It's-
fun. I
it's-
had
it's
2
certainly
solid
fun.
hours of fun, and 10 quid an hour. I paid
You know,
more for.
it might be a bit more fun if you grab some buddies and kill some demons together. It does have multiplayer. That's a plus.
And keep in mind the load time, because
Oh
even
yeah. Well, you know, while it's loading, you have time to go to the bathroom, make yourself a sandwich,
learn a hobby.
read a book.
Uh,
If you really
did
wanted
you
to learn
play
how
it
to
on your
juggle,
APU or did you just play it on your main box?
I played it on my main box because I'm not playing that thing on a couch with a controller. I need like a proper keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, we do have not stupidly overpowered computers, but they are running SSDs and relatively decent NVIDIA graphics.
At least upper mid-range video cards.
But I'll tell you something I did notice. After you've
Yeah?
launched it the first time, if you go back and you don't reboot, which, I'm long ago, I had the
thousands of years ago,
millions
in
of
the
years
future.
ago, in the future, past, present, whatever. I had the uptime bug, and I was like, we'll see how long you keep running. But that's the true thing. 2 or 3 days, I'd go back and play it. It would pretty much pop right back up. But if you do a complete system shutdown and reinitialize, you picked up a new hobby.
Indeed. If you wanted to learn how to juggle, Painkiller is your best excuse for that.
So I hear some people want to say disparaging remarks about us, maybe?
Yeah, apparently that's a thing. We apparently have some means of being contacted by carbon-based entities, and we will explore that next in our hate mail segment.
Bring it. So, J-Man, you might not, well, I hope you know this at this point. We let people scream back in our direction since, we're kind of screaming theirs every single week for over a year, and we give them an opportunity. Nay, it's their responsibility to send us some wet, stinky hate mail and let us know what's on their brain organs. Have you ever heard of this?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What did you say?
Anyway, starting up the hate mail this week, Bruce Leroy.
Yeah,
pauses.
He asks what you guys do during the live breaks.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe you thought of more complex beings than that, but nope, drugs.
No, drugs.
Yeah. Pretty much that.
Next, hate mail. LGC reviews from 33 Booyaka 33.
Clearly a upstanding member.
This is from one of our YouTube comments.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the worst reviews ever. Show gameplay and not you talking with
one of the years. I can't do comic book nerd this late.
Oh, hold on. One of the worst reviews ever. Show gameplay and not you talking with 5 FPS.
So apparently we talk at 5 FPS.
I thought we talked at about 7 FPS, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And he's talking about the Sylvision Prophecy review, and,
oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. That's what we talk about.
Booyaka, and...
So, yeah. Worst case scenario.
Peter has something to say about criticism.
Fine.
No, you want to keep ragging on this guy? Let's keep ragging on this guy.
Which one?
The fucking 5 frames per second guy.
Well, if we really got to go metal about it, the reason we don't show a whole lot of gameplay video is because maybe something you read about that rhymes with Total Biscuit, who had one of his videos pulled down by a developer of the game that didn't like the negative review. Now, you see, you notice that we kind of nix the audio, and we're very stingy about putting video. There's reason behind this.
Because reason.
The audio, that's easy. You got to worry about that. The video, snippy to the point to where there will be no... You can't say, well, they showed 3 seconds or 4 seconds, multiple times throughout it, but there's not prolonged play. Because, let's be honest, we're honest about games, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Because they're not giving us money. I mean, if they were giving us money to give them good reviews, it'd be a different story altogether.
Oh, no, we'd take their money, and then we'd laugh at them.
Then give them a bad review and all that. So we don't have the IGN syndrome.
Mountain Dew, man. It's tasty.
Let's talk about a human being that could possibly not cut us any deeper with his words
of criticism.
This is Peter. Criticism. And he writes, been following you on YouTube for quite some time and had to share my 2 cents. However, before doing that, I had to do some studies on how to articulate myself properly. Thusly, here's a link to criticism at Wikipedia.
A good criticism.
Wikipedia to the rescue. Following the bullet points in the article, I came up with this singular sentence. You guys fucking rock! ! If you're ever having a live event where you guys are more interactive other than ignoring IRC users writing obscenities, I would try my best to stick around for it. Keep it up. You're doing good work.
Well, I guess statistically someone has to like us. There's like 7 billion humans on this planet.
I know, look at this, man. I mean, just send me a private email. Let me know what we've done to piss you off so much, because, I mean, that hurts. Reading that, I mean, that cuts me deeply in what we're doing.
It wounds him.
We're not trying. That's not our aim. And, you know, you're from a .se. So, it's kind of spooky on top of that.
Spooky. Well,
as Jordan's high as a kite, let's just go ahead and cue that music. Because we're going to be talking about where you can find us, and where you can find us is stupidly easy.
Yeah,
it's at LinuxGameCast.com /podcast. You want to try it? You up?
Sure. Yeah, sure. All right, LinuxGameCast.com /podcast. We got RSS feeds for SD video, HD video, SD audio, handy dandy e-stocking guide, Amazon affiliate links, donato buttons, donato board. All sorts of good stuff. We also have Chat Realms statically linked. As he clicked the tab. Yeah, it's our forum where we are the other 6 days of the week. Talk about Linux broadcasting software and hipster holocausts. Check that out. You can sign up with any account. There's also youtube.com /LinuxGameCast, where this video is and other videos are, including Let's Plays and players and how-tos and B-reels and whatnot. We got a Facebook group that we're not going to talk about because Facebook, yeah. Reddit.com/r/Linux_gaming is a good subreddit. Check it out. And I think that's it.
Who are you? I've never heard of you.
Who am I? Who am I? I am Jordan Svung. You can find me at The Burning Fool or plus Jordan Svung, Twitter and Google Plus respectively.
And I'm Vinstone, always Vinstone, cleverly hidden on the Twitter nets at Vinstone plus Vinstone on the G pluses. And this has been another train wreck of Linux Gamecast Weekly, but at least we're doing it old school style, right?
Old school, yeah. Like the good old days.
Which were really not that good.
I'll kill you dead, you son of a bitch.
Dine a fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Die in a fire.